Saturday, December 18th, 1943. Message for X. For quite some time, I have worried about X, a close friend I have known since childhood. He is of German origin, and unfortunately his entire interest is devoted to the Führer and the Reich. Führer, guide, was the current designation for Hitler, and Reich, kingdom, designated his imperialistic project. While working on an advertising sign, Hanna suddenly sets her brush aside and says, "I hear German words. They're meant for X. Write them down." "You coward! You pampered child! There's but one guide, the divine shepherd. He proclaims, 'It shall be.' What has been till now is not true." A flash of unsheathed steel makes clear decision is near, you eel. With wondrous force you are adorned and could shine like a Christmas tree. Act in accordance. You waste divine gifts. You'll pay dearly. Tremble in my presence, in vain you slither into yourself. No hole left for hiding, you are transparent like glass, shatter like glass. Soul demands freedom. Such dignity is bestowed upon you. Yet you wallow in the mud like a mole, and writhe and err. Come forth, spirit, ardently I remind you. God knows who you are. I am shaken by this strong admonishment. Hanna does not completely understand all the words, and I translate what I can into Hungarian. We discuss how we might try and pass on this message to X. Anticipating his ironic smile, I decide to cautiously first inform him about the change that has occurred in my life, to see how he reacts. A short while later, I take a walk with him. X listens to me quietly and then asks questions from which I can tell that he has been deeply touched. I return to Budapest by bicycle and tell Hanna about his interested response. Immediately she hears the following words. "He is mine. Not for an instant will I let him go. I laugh with joy. I dance without restraint. Indeed, he is formed in the image of God. His penance will be heavy, but not without end. Like a child in the forest, he is full of fright. But soon it will be bright. Softly, gently, without glare, the light returns. Praise we sing. Long, so long has been the night. Beginning, don't listen, don't look, don't know, don't turn. Just follow the only true Führer. In truth, you are his child. Become half heaven, half earth." The glowing joy of the angel at the first awakening of his protégé impresses me profoundly. How limited, how lame and grey are our feelings compared with this fiery passion. The wheel, birth and death, bread and dread, dirt. Beginning and end, evolve, and from two there will be one. Be heaven's night. Overcome hate and war, peace and love, death and dread. Of dirt and God will come the wonder of one. All that was is futile fluff. From him for you a wing, and I will sing. We will overcome what was blind, not with torment, but with gentle rays, bringing light. The kingdom nears. The wheel stands still. Divine will. Friday, December 24th, 1943. Number 27. Dialogue with Lily. Fragment. An angel descended from heaven. You no longer need to hasten to see the light, for the light will be everywhere and Bethlehem will be no more. I proclaim a new Christmas, no longer followed by Easter. From now on, Easter is merely an empty shell. But today, the light, the old light, is so revered that the flames of life are extinguished. These words are an ironic, bitter reference to the war. On the stone and on straw warmed by the animal lies the newborn in you. Good is the stone, good the straw, good the warm breath. Bad is the decayed stable, bad are the cold and darkness outside. Fear not, the dragon cannot reach the newborn. The old dragon is beside its tree, but the red apple no longer entices. Do you see the newborn? No. Do try to see it. You believe you give birth, but it is who gives birth to you. Silence. Do you have questions? What is a real feast? A feast of the heart. A part of heaven. Downward gesture. What they do down there is the split of a broken heaven which will never become whole again. They gnaw at the splinters of the old heaven, but we are building the new heaven, and we build it together. What is goodness, charity? Worthless old splinters, away with them. Today everyone gives the good. Rubbish. Only gives and everything is given. We merely transmit the divine gift. Tiny worms with delusions of grandeur say, I give. Do not be soiled by this kind of good. May there be no such good in you. Not evil has darkened the world, but the good person who says, I give. And see what is given. Death. You good people, you will pay the penalty. In the coming new light, everything false will crumble to dust. What do you own? Nothing. Then what can you give? From myself, nothing. Rotten, corrupt species, woe unto you! You build good hospitals for your victims, but you, my servant, are not good. The good will stream through you. Ask. How might religion and science become united? In the new light, one will see that they are one. They have always been one, just as melody and rhythm are one and inseparable. Each member of the great orchestra plays, but the symphony is one. Sometimes the violin leads, sometimes the cello, sometimes religion, sometimes science. But now nothing, for no one serves, everyone leads. More than all the others the drum, for it is the loudest. The conductor is a servant of the symphony's spirit. But now there is not even a conductor. The loudest dominates. Long silence. May heaven bless you. Friday, December 31st, 1943, number 28. Dialogue with Gitta. It is the last day of the year. In the past, I have always found New Year's celebrations to be meaningless and boring, but today I am full of expectation as I wonder how the angels will mark the passage from the old year into the new. Alpha Omega, Omega Alpha. The created human stands between beginning and end. The creating human stands between end and beginning. Between beginning and end is time. Between end and beginning is timelessness. The end of the old year is the beginning of the new. The end of the old world is the beginning of the new. The miracle is between the end and the beginning, between Omega and Alpha. Humans have always celebrated what cannot be celebrated. I do not understand at first, but suddenly it dawns on me that the timeless moment, the transition from the old year into the new, cannot be grasped by those who live in time. The gateway to the narrow path is Omega Alpha. The one who passes through it bodily, in time, steps into death. The one who passes through it spiritually, beyond time, steps into eternity. Can you measure time between Omega and Alpha? A fleeting instant ends, a new instant begins. Between the two there is no time. Between them is eternity. There is a gateway to eternity. It opens not at the beginning, but at the end. The Creator sets in motion, and the new instant is. The old is no more. At the death of each instant, you can enter into eternity, into the creating world, and there you, yourself, set in motion. This is visible to all, and yet not seen. The gate is open, but the opening is so narrow that the born cannot pass through. This is the greatest secret. Every instant, even the instant of the instant, is an open gate. There is no sacred instant, for every instant is sacred. Thus you live in the eternal and in the temporal. You are the ball as well as the player. Do not pay attention to the beginning. The beginning is already end. What begins and ends cannot be altered, for force and matter are already in motion. Take heed. The origin of everything, the birthplace of motion, is between the end and the beginning. The created world is a ball. The Creator plays with it, gives the ball a push, that it may return in joy. In the Creator's image, all is in this image. Celestial bodies, atoms, all. Silence. Learn this. There is only one certainty, and that is joy. Everything can be explained. Joy has no explanation. We cannot explain why we are joyful. Joy is our task. What you receive is a source of joy for the joyless. Ask my servant. Please tell me more about the eternal instant. Would you explain it to me in another way? The eternal instant is a ray of eternal light. Humans have the task of creating an opening in the sphere where they live so that the ray can enter. No need to demolish a house to let light in, a window suffices. To reach up to the infinite light, it is necessary to go beyond the created. Only thus can you reach it. Beyond the created, you are liberated and you liberate. How deceptive is this sphere from within, with its suns and moons and infinite space, which is in reality finite. With its billions of years, which are nothing compared to an eternal instant. If an opening is created in the space where you live, there is no more prison. There are no more prisoners, just free inhabitants in the sphere. No more curse, but blessing. No more darkness, but light. No more suffering, but joy. This tiny opening is deliverance. Everything changes. The way out, the solution. Omega to Alpha. After a long silence. Take heed of measure. What is more below as above is deviation from the path. Therefore learn to feel. Too much, too little. Enough is equilibrium between force and matter, between finite and infinite. Between the two is the path. Enough. Take care you do not stray from the path. Your measure is unique. Everyone has a key. One's own measure. You may ask another question. We see the bad and speak of it. Where is the boundary between clear seeing and pretentious judgment? Measure. You are a bringer of light. Know the weakness of the eyes, but not in a judgmental way. If your entire being serves deliverance, then you will measure and not judge. Judgment belongs only to the divine. Listen carefully. There are 7 joys. Discover them. This is not an easy task. Each of the 7 joys will be the guiding spirit of one day of the week. I give you 7 days to discover them. Tell me next week what you have discovered. I take leave of you. Friday, December 31st, 1943, number 28, with Lily. What is easy for me is difficult for you. What is easy for you is difficult for me. How difficult it is to make you aware of even the simplest thing. Every motion can be an image of creation. A push at one point sets into motion. Listen well. Motion begins at one point, its point of origin, and then it returns. Everything is pushed and everything returns. These words lead to my understanding that every true motion pulses as a part of a cosmic rhythm. The human has strayed from this law. Knowledge has caused a tiny bit of deviation in the human. This tiny bit can corrupt everything. But when the human returns to the divine source of all motion, the name of all motion becomes deliverance. When motion returns to its source, joy is born in the human. Even the vilest human is still human in being able to give. A single instant too soon or too late, that is the apple of knowledge. It was not meant for eating, but the humans ate the apple and hoarded the divine knowledge for themselves. The fault was not in the apple, only the eating of it was forbidden. This is an image of all that is human. The forbidden apple seduces one to take and not to give. Giving is everything. The fault is not in knowledge, but in hoarding it. When given, knowledge too is a blessing. All that is given forth is a blessing. But we can give only through the divine. Then we become one with the source, and that is joy. True motion is divinely inspired, and it returns to the divine. Teach everyone to give in this way, and the curse will come to an end. It is not you who give. Teach only how to give. Everyone can give. Every motion can serve. From inner motion evolves the outer. I help you in your work, my servant. Joy is the sign. Take note of what brings each person to rejoice. Where someone is unable to rejoice, there is the apple. The apple selfishly eaten and not given on. Away with it. Even the most miserable of those you shelter under your cloak can learn to rejoice. That is joy set in motion, streaming outward, totally spending itself, and returning like a breath of air. Beginning, end, and joy are in the heart. Joy is the air of the new world. Ask, what is peace? Not a pause between two wars. Peace has never yet been, but it will be. Peace. You only long for it, but not enough. Peace is the new vibration, unlike anything before. If there is no peace in me, I cannot rejoice. You speak truth. Now the new year begins, and I would like to start in a completely different way. Please help me. My peace is your peace. My joy is your joy. Thus cherish it. Joy is infinite. You receive as much as you are able to give forth. Joy has no limits. It is your capacity to give that is limited. I feel that the angel could give Lily infinitely more, but that she is not yet able to bear such intensity, and so her angel's giving must be restricted to the proper measure. Joy knows no limits, no beginning, and no end, for joy is eternal. I also rejoice only to the extent that I am able to give to you. And you rejoice only to the extent that you are able to give forth. Rejoice then. May your joy be perfect. Give to the happy. Give to the unhappy. Be not sparing in your joy. May this be your new year. Ask. What is hope? Why do you ask this, my little servant? Because I feel it beginning to grow in me. Pay attention to where you direct your hope. If you direct it to the divine, you will never be disappointed, for gives all. Only the godless are hopeless. Listen well. Do not merely hope. Give hope. Do not merely have faith. Give faith. Do not merely love. Show how to love. Not hope for yourself, not faith for yourself, not love for yourself. That is the burden. It is light, and you carry it lightly. That we know well. Silence. It is unclear to me what spiritism and mysticism are. By mysticism, Lille means exaggerated interpretations of sensational, inexplicable paranormal phenomena. It is its nature to be unclear. Old mist and fog vanish in the coming of dawn. Do you know what a genuine mystery is? A smile originating in the depths of the soul, that is a mystery. Teeth chattering, slobbering despair of the shipwrecked, that is what spiritualism is. They want a sign, and it is not given to them. Not the dead should be conjured, but life, eternal life. The sacred teaching is not hidden in darkness and obscurity. It radiates in bright daylight. What they call up, they receive. Leave the dead with their dead. So often did they summon death that finally it came. Let us summon joy, and the divine realm will come. Call not trembling with fear, but with jubilation. Could anything be more natural than our talking together? Where is that thing you call mysticism? It has sunk. Everything old disappears. Have you rejoiced today at being with me? Oh, yes. Pass it on. Feeling that the dialogue is concluded, I work at completing my notes. Suddenly, Lily's teacher speaks to me. Do nothing afterwards. Do everything in its time. Write even the accents in their proper time. I am astonished. Do not take this as jest. Joking is foreign to me. But I know joy. Is peace. May peace, not mine, but divine peace, come over you. May His kingdom come. January 1944. Message for X. I tried repeatedly to reach X in a calm moment. In vain. In his free time he listens constantly to German radio, and I fear that his political interests will prevent him from being able to receive the message of the angel. Today Hanna again hears German words, and I feel them as a response to my concerns. Seeds need earth and warmth. Be truly warm, and what was hardened will open up. Wait, do nothing. Let divine force act. Stem will sprout, and sap will flow within. Sing and shine, don't whine. The earth is moist enough. Let go. He will be warm. Wretched was the world, but He floods all with light. Soon another message arrived. The cell of the eye does not see the bright. Blindly it serves. You are not the cell, you are the eye. Shine! Be source for all the new wave in the universe. The eyes of the animal absorb. You are not an animal, and not frill. You are human. You redeem. You cannot overcome the night. The wave brings the rays down to the valley where the blind writhe in pain. Pain will wane when your eyes shine. The night will end. May there be light. Friday, January 7th, 1944. Number 29. Dialogue with Gitta. Today I will speak of the cradle of joy. Hate, fire, and poison comprise the cradle of joy. The created world is the body of the divine. Can there be evil in eux? Bile, too, is a well of joy, and yet bile is a poison. Bile in itself, very bitter, serves in the digestive process by breaking down food and transforming it. There is a fire in your body that does not destroy, a poison that does not kill. How can this be? Everything in the great plan is good. Understand the secret. Transformation. The human being is called upon to transform. What is bad is the too much. The cruelest beast in existence is the human. And this same creature is the cradle of eternal joy. Forces not used, forces not transformed, devastate, destroy, poison. Sinking gesture. Listen carefully. What is bad here below, uplifting gesture, is good there above. Everything depends on this. Forces are destructive when they are not in their proper place. There is no destruction if you lift them up. Then from poison comes healing, and from fire, light. This is why the human stood and is upright, no longer crawls. Out of all the evil you can imagine is born the New Jerusalem. When the task is acknowledged, there is no evil. Unacknowledged, it destroys. Evil is the cradle of joy. You flee in vain from evil, for there is no evil. Evil, the eternal question of humanity. No one could explain, but I proclaim, evil is the not yet transformed. Evil is good that is being formed, but is not yet formed. Silence. Disease. Each human organ is a force. Together in harmony they bear fruit. Where there is a fault, the more leaks out. If bile overflows, it becomes poison. The more overflows and destroys the whole. If the more has no way out, it forces away, and what would above become the new world, below becomes poison. Above, life, secret eternal source of joy. If you raise everything up, you hold eternal joy in your hand. There is no evil. Held high, the destructive force of scorn becomes hallelujah. Fire destroys, raised up, it is flaming joy. Only know this, and all illness, everything vile, everything evil, comes to an end. This is the scepter I place in your hand. It connects below and above. Take it and know. No longer two, but one. No longer good and bad, only good. I give it to you all. Do you accept it? Yes. Yes. Józef hesitates and does not speak. Sternly to him, answer. Yes. The image of the scepter becomes clear to me for the first time. True kings rule in the vertical line, uniting heavenly and earthly forces. The scepter is held vertically in the hand, and the hand signifies the act. To me, this means that the real kingdom is attainable only by means of rightful acts on earth. And that is everyone's task. Our openly pronounced acceptance of the scepter calls down heavenly help for this task. What did you discover about the 7 joys? I am waiting. In 7 sentences, I relate what I experienced as the 7 joys. These notes were subsequently lost. I do not accept this. Raise it higher. How will you raise it up? That is just what I wanted to ask you. It is not yet simple enough. You have not yet tried hard enough. Your task was great. Those are not yet the 7. There are infinitely more joys. In the end, there will be 7 words, not 7 sentences. You are already a word. 1 I. Individuality. Individuality. Concentrated work of billions of years, collaboration, union of cells. What you brought is not enough. You thought your task was easy. When the grapes are freshly picked, there is no wine, only juice. If you had picked the grapes last Saturday, there would now be wine. But you merely plucked sweet grapes here and there along the way. I asked not for grapes, but for wine, and for old wine, for only ecstasy rises to the divine. Sweetness stays below. I'm waiting. How could I elevate the bad through my acts? Transformation. Reforming. You are the one who transforms. The more of the tree is its fruit. When you eat the flesh of the fruit, you kill it, but at the same time you transform it into human force. The more of the earth dies in you and is reborn. You welcome evil and transform it into good. Evil does not exist. There is only force that has not yet been transformed. When force flows through me, I feel different radiations streaming out of each of my hands. What purpose do they serve? Healing. Only together do they serve. Separated, they have no task. Do not seek to know, but serve. Then you will have new awareness and not old knowledge. In the beginning was the creation, then incompetent fools explained it. The artist creates, the worms explain. Poor little gelatinous worms in your skull. One last question. I once believed I was acting according to my own law, but this was not so. How could I have so completely fooled myself? One word explains it. You said, I. That was the end. A curtain descended between you and eternal truth. You could not have awareness, for you were in the dark. The curtain is called I. Open it, and you become Then you will no longer ask questions, for the divine knows everything. If you act in the name of your law, you know nothing. You cannot know anything of yourself. Is total certainty. Do not be uncertain. How can I pull the curtain open and always serve well? 'Tis not a matter of pulling it. Do not hide behind the curtain. Only then does it block light. Stand in front of it and it will no longer disturb you. No great steps are needed. You still too shy? I don't want to be shy. Why am I? Because you are a child. But those who are like children belong to the realm of God. The child has fear, but has faith in its father. And the Father is truly at its side. Believe in Him. The human being is a scepter in the divine hand. The scepter unites above and below. I depart. Friday, January 7th, 1944. Number 29, Dialogue with Lily. We wait quietly for Lily's angel, but there is one disturbance after another. First, a young man repeatedly tries to start his motorcycle just beside our house, making a tremendous racket. The motor never quite starts, and the struggle seems to go on forever. When he finally leaves, a mouse beneath the cupboard takes over the role of noisemaker. It is apparently playing football with the nut, which naturally attracts the attention of our cat. She complains relentlessly from outside the door to our room. Lily's angel speaks first to me. The noise is not without, but within. Little noises within you called the noises around you. To us all. Is one, but has two hands. Weight is one. Faith is the other. Matter listens to the left hand, spirit to the right. But the human is the wonder. Hanna's widely stretched arms are slowly brought together until the hands touch each other, forming a circle. Through the human, the circle becomes whole and the embrace complete. Thus there is no more weight. Thus there is no more faith. The cat meows again, and I am beside myself with rage. Lily's angel turns back to me. With the beast you do not calm the beast. I will stop for a while. I carry the cat to the garden. After a long silence, to Lily. Ask my little servant. My courses are becoming more and more difficult. What you doubt is not the new, but the old, and that is good. What weighs you down? I cannot transform either myself or others quickly enough. My heart rejoices at you. You will find the new, my servant. It opens itself to those who seek it. Where do you feel the new? I only sense that everything will be different. Through everything will become different. We are all working on a wonderful plan. Joy arises through the two united as one. When you seek the new, the old is not lost, for it is one of the two. I seek the one, the true, the just, and it disturbs me that I am not able to speak, to act, and to move simply. As you approach the new, all of this will be fulfilled. Why does it become so difficult to ask? Because the air is getting thinner and your lungs must adjust. I retreat higher, ever higher. But you are not allowed to go away from me. You do not even notice that you are rising. It is forbidden for us to leave each other. I draw you higher, always higher. For still we are not at home, where we can be united. Everything becomes heavier and lighter. Weight and task are two. Weight becomes light, task becomes heavy as you transform. Matter, family, what a weight that was! It is no more. Freed from weight, have strength for the task. What else is troubling you? I'm still very weak. Do you believe that I am strong? Yes, through Then where is the weakness? I had lost sight of the divine. Thus you are held, supported from below, blessed from above. Rejoice, my servant. May you become aware. Our time is ending. If you have a last question, ask it now. Where does self-centeredness come from? From Everything comes from How can that be? Self-centeredness is the weight, the left hand of the divine. For the animal, it is a matter of elevation, but for the human, it is weight. In its place, everything is good. Heaven is with you. Message for X. At last I find an opportunity to take a walk with X and give him the messages that have come for him. Suddenly he stands still and appears to be deeply touched. In a hesitant voice he asks, "Yes, but then what is my role in practical life?" I reply, "You can be sure that you will receive an answer. Today I am able to write it down. I am you. Listen. Half an arch, as good as none. Lightly it should stand above, to overarch and carry. Not quake, not totter, for it would lean and sink in the clay. The arch must hold, but half it cannot lift, it cannot die, it cannot live. Force becomes strain, dignity burden. Sap becomes steam of wild storms silently raging under the half-arch. The arch so yearns to serve, to carry the many who perish in waves of fright and flight, of doubt and chain, of greed and blood, of rage and rape in the depths of the abyss. Give me your hand. No more wall between you and me. You ask, what is my role? Wild waves rage below. Riotous rags toss and float. Broken beams bleakly swirl support the house no more. Now you are half, but soon no more. Give me your hand, we form the band, the arch, the bow, we join above and we join below. The new is born, in praise we raise a song for Him who created all. What on earth was half will be whole. We shall arch, and He will reign. He proclaims, may it be. I record the message for X, but am unable to deliver it to him because he has left Budapest in the meantime. 22 years later, he finally receives all the messages. The second birth. In the dark womb, tender and naked swims the child. As if dream of feeble beam begins to gleam. The child ripens, the womb opens. Push through, upward toward the gate, break through to the light, nothing hinders. The night remains in the depths below. The child awakens to eternal life. Death is dead, never more to be. Only life in divine light.